Hello and welcome to the Blood and Pigment channel. Today we're talking about the 2023 Summer of Plunder campaign for Blood and Plunder and Oak and Iron. We just wrapped it up about 2 weeks ago, and we just wanted to kind of do a debrief, talk about how it went, some of our favorite parts, and what we're thinking about for next year. It was a fun event. Basically, the campaign is an online thing for anybody around the world where people can play when they play a game of Blood and Plunder or Oak and Iron. They can just log it in our system and give us a couple stats about it, and then we uh, share those games with other people, and they get points for those games and are part of a national team that competes for different objectives and prizes. So it's a big community event where there's a lot of interaction, and we had a final winner. Spain won big time this year, which was good. It was fun. And had a bunch of people involved from around the world. It was a lot of fun. We got Jason and Dan here with us. Guy might join us later, but I thought this is our third year doing this campaign. We learn a lot every year, so I thought we'd go through and you guys talk about what you did during the campaign this year, and then how it went, and some of our favorite parts and plans for doing it again next year. Jason, what part did you play in this campaign?
So I was one of the campaign organizers, just kind of doing a lot of the logistical stuff as far as helping. Well, not helping. I built the built the campaign map, built several dirty spreadsheets behind the scenes for the commanders to use to enter their attacks and defenses, and just kind of resolving all the combat on a week-to-week basis, and then just helping to write some of the random events like Remember Jamaica, and just trying to kind of support things from the back end.
One of the parts I failed to say there is we have this campaign map where nations control different key points in the Caribbean and New World, and struggle for control of those using the points that the players have generated through logging those games. So you design that whole thing using the Google Map overlay, which was quite cool to kind of keep it live with the historical map over the top of it. Yeah, very cool system. That was a new part of the campaign this year, our third year. Dan, what part did you play?
I was the second command for the pirates. I think it was Greg Padilla was the primary commander. What I did was I would communicate with the players in the chat along with him. I was talking to the other nations leaders as well as a kind of pseudo ambassador, and then I filled out the pirate spreadsheet at the end of the week to resolve attacks.
So in that, you had a kind of level of points that kept fluctuating as people played games, and you spent them, and then you allocate those points to attack or defend different locations on this map.
I didn't just spend them. I spent more than I should have.
You just spent a lot. The pirates were
spent more than a couple other nations.
That was epic.
Should have been a prize for that. Most points spent.
Yeah, there should have. I'll send you a prog. How about that? I already offered.
Yes.
The
pirate's gonna cut me off, but just put me on the Prague once they.
You're too expensive of a quartermaster. Free with the purse strings. Jason, you want to walk us through some of the stats and how the campaign went this year?
Sure. I think we ended up almost, well, not quite double, but 200 players from around the world. We had people, for sure, I know in Poland, Sweden, Mexico, Canada, the UK, and Germany.
US of A.
Well, US. Of those 200 players, they logged 1,400 games, which is actually really impressive. That's almost 150 games a week. We had 600 new players. So one of the things we had was an incentive to earn bonus points for running demos. We had essentially 602 demos run, which is one of the best things about the campaign for me, because I want to see the game grow. I want to see it reach new people. And so 200 players, that's an average of 3 demos a piece, unless you count Tyler, who ran a ridiculous 150 something. We had, of those, we also had an incentive to play in local stores or in conventions to try to help get the game out in front of people. We ended up with 606 games, either in a local store or at a convention. And then wouldn't be Summer of Plunder without a ridiculous amount of plunder. So
Wonder.
we ended up with when we did the math, not counting shipping, I don't think it's $2,800 in prizes, and over 50 different people won some sort of a prize. So you had a 1 in 4 chance of getting something just showing up to play.
We even had prizes for people who only played one game.
Yeah.
So if you only play one game, you have a high likelihood of winning. Yeah, those were lots of fun. Thought we'd really quick talk about our favorite parts of the campaign from our perspective. I was one of the organizers as well, and our organizing role gave us a lot different view of it. Sounds like you guys and as the commanders and interacting with the players had a lot more fun. So Dan, you want to talk about your favorite parts and specifically how kind of built some community through those group
I
chats? Not
really
always honest
enjoyed
group chats, but
I really enjoyed the group chats and interacting with, the people who played for Pirates. I know this year it was a lot of people were saying that they were trying to find the national chats, but I posted a few times the Blood and Plunder group saying, "Hey, if you're a pirate player, message me, I'll get you in." So we have quite a few people that are still talking in the chat as prizes are rolling out. And it was just fun being able to, talk, strategize, kind of, what we basically did was we'd say, "Hey, this week, what do we want to do? I'm going to put it to a vote. Y'all get to vote, and then we will attack based on that." So, was it practical? But it was player engagement. So that was kind of more what I was concerned of. Less about trying to win at all costs and just trying to make it fun for everyone. That's why we blew all 300 points attacking Hibana
yeah,
on the
tell us
last
about that.
week.
That
Just
was one of my favorites. So
so we were talking, and first I was talking with France. We were thinking, hey, you think that we might be able to just throw all of our points and throw it at Spain, to just try to reduce them, and then someone else could win. But then nobody wanted to throw any attacks around, so we said, you know
So,
what? If
for
nobody's gonna do
context,
it,
Spain is decisively winning near the end of the campaign. Even at the beginning, they were doing well.
yes.
So by the end, they were very difficult to take down, and people would rather steal from the second place player. So,
Hmm.
but you got a little revenge there at the end.
Yeah, we decided, nobody else wanted to play ball and help throw, whatever they could at Spain. People were trying to protect their holdings. So we say, you know what? We're just going to throw all 300 points we had left at Havana. And if we take it, awesome. We did something nobody else did the entire campaign. If we don't, well, then you know what? Spain still wins. And then natives get not in last place. So,
Well done. That was
so
awesome.
I guess what you should be saying, natives, is you're welcome or thank you.
There you go. That
Yeah,
was
But yeah, it
I
was
do have
fun.
to say, opening the spreadsheets and looking at it at midnight, and I'm like, they threw 100% of their points at Spain at one location. It's pretty nuts.
I proposed it and said, "We can do this, guys. What you want to do?" And everyone just kind of put their mugs down and said, "We're going to do it."
if you can't win, might as well get some spite revenge, right?
Hey, we did something nobody else did. Nobody else took Havana. We did.
Were you, Jason? What did you enjoy?
I think probably the photos and just seeing the participation as a whole. I love. We get sprinkles of that on and off throughout the year with people posting battle reports and whatnot. But this is just there's so many people playing and so many different game clubs or just groups from all over playing. It's fun to see that community aspect of it play out.
Yeah, one of the things I did for the campaign is uh, part of the entry form it requires a couple pictures just to make sure you are playing the game rather than just logging points in. So we can share those in a weekly update on the blog, Blood and Pigment. And I really enjoyed seeing those pictures, seeing people enjoying themselves, seeing players' comments, especially when every week we have a objective, which can get you an extra point, something that we can all kind of include in our force or something you need to make happen in the game, kind of a collective experience. Uh, try to help people learn the game a little better, try something new, stretch themselves a little bit. And it was fun to see people participate in that and enjoy it. And pictures of every like 1 week, everybody had to use some natives, or you had to have fire, use a grenade, and seeing all those pictures of people doing that, and then comments of them enjoying that was a lot of fun for me. And then it was fun to see some. Wasn't part of the group chats, and we tried not to be, just so we wouldn't mess things up as being the big brother watching over people. But it was fun to see people connect on a smaller scale. People all playing the Pirates, people all playing the French, kind of get together and get to know each other. So fun to see some community building there. Um, it was a big event every year. I guess a little more complex. For some of the challenges we ran into this year, Dan, go.
So one of the big challenges we had was we did have a couple overzealous players. We checked and verified there was no kind of foul play or anything. It was just someone took the game really seriously and racked up a lot of points. And we got a lot of feedback on our surveys, and we're working on a improvement. So the amount of games you throw out will not be as important next year. Still play as much as you want, but nobody will be able to just kind of bowl over. Mhm.
Yeah, we want people to play, and they took us seriously and did that. Some pe some people have more time to play than I thought humanly possible. So, yeah, just a point cap for players. So, in this case, I mean, it got a little extreme where one player had twice as many points as all the native players put together. The native players never do very well anyway, but uh, that kind of balance is unpleasant. So, yeah, probably a point cap. We had a runaway leader issue where Spain, we thought we had it balanced where commanders could attack each other and make sure nobody got too far ahead. But at one point, Spain got far enough ahead. It seemed useless to attack them. I'm not sure if that was true or not, but I shouldn't talk about that because I have an opinion. But uh, they did get ahead, and no one could catch up. What other challenges do we have, Jason?
So I, it's one of those things. In the beginning, there's always some growing pains and learning things. You know, it's a 9-week campaign. That the front end of things, trying to get people up to speed on how the map works was a little bit confusing. Getting people plugged into the national chats. One of the things we kind of just left that to commanders to self organize. We've already
It's a
set up a new
mid-campaign
Discord
idea.
server, and we're trying to fix that for next year. So there'll be a centralized location for people to go to plug into their groups if they want to, or just participate in an overall general chat. And then centralizing just all of those updates, being able for commanders to post their own updates within Discord, I think is one benefit. That way, there's a little bit more readily available information. So when it gets to the week rolling over, you don't have to wait for us to update. You've already got that information ahead of time.
Yeah, using Discord, I think, as a central hub will be, it's just so easy to organize information. So that should be really great. That was one of my other favorite things is watching the commanders do good work. Each nation, Pirates, Spanish, English, French, Dutch, and Native Americans all had one kind of leader that would help coordinate people, make these choices about how to do the attacks, and then a second command that would help out as well. And they provide a little written update for the weekly blog post, and watching them do a good job. We had all new commanders this year, which was a bit of a steep learning curve for everybody, but it worked out, and it was really fun to see some new blood and see them enjoy themselves. And thank you, commanders. It was a lot of work,
Yep,
thankless work sometimes.
definitely.
Really great.
We're
Great
going to
plans.
double your salary next year.
Triple,
Triple. We'll go with triple. Yeah.
maybe even quadruple. Let's see. Plans for next year. I haven't ever. This is our third year doing it, but there's a lot of buzz and excitement. I mean, it's kind of funny to see it finish. It's a lot of work, especially for some of us. But yeah, a lot of buzz about what we want to do next year, improvements we can make, and plans already in place. A whole. Uh, Jason, you want to talk a little bit about the proposed? We still have a long time, obviously, to perfect a new system for next year.
Yep. So the overwhelmingly, of the things, all of the feedback for the map by and large was positive. Everybody was excited about the map. I think that was a good change. Were little bumps for people trying to figure out how it works and how to affect things. One of changes we're looking to do is kind of pull back some of the commander control and push more of it towards the player, so the games they play and the votes they make have a greater influence on things. Kind of leveling the playing field, so every nation is going to basically get the same number of points on a week-to-week basis. So natives who don't have as many players versus 100 and something games coming in for Spain will have the same opportunity for success. And so there are factors that can affect that, but just trying to kind of deal with that runaway leader and runaway player aspect of things. But again, this is all proposed. We're kind of trying to change some of the prize structure too. That's a big thing. We just want to make sure that everybody has equal chances to things. Put some caps on.
It's entirely equal. There should be a little merit.
Yeah. There are prizes still. We've always got to have that fine line of balance. There needs to be an incentive to want to play, to want to demo the game, to reward effort, but at the same time keep it equal for people that can't go ballistic on things or don't have as much time, or even if they're a new player and they want to play one game, they still have a chance to win something. That to me is a fine line to walk, but I think we're steadily getting better at it.
Yeah, we don't want one person who could play just to win everything. I mean, you were that guy last year, Jason. You were able to play a bunch and get several prizes.
No, I really didn't get that many prizes, and I passed on the majority of them because I want other people to win.
Yeah, so trying to spread that out is good. Trying to organize a little bit better and maybe loop some of the gaming clubs and stores in. We have ideas for that. We got some feedback with the stores were mad they didn't know about this event. So trying to work up a little kit to send to stores that are heavily involved. It'd be fun. Got some more people looped in to help out. Gradually growing into the complex Spanish bureaucracy. Anything you want to add to that, Dan? Anything you'd like to see us layer in or things we have planned?
I think you all kind of touched on everything. I felt like we did good for prize distribution this year. I felt like there were more winners and more people got prizes. Again, like kind of touched on everything. We're just slowly kind of improving and curbing. So it doesn't matter how many games you play. If you want to go for a specific prize, you still can, but you're not gonna throw so many points that it throws things out of skew. And then making sure that everybody's on a level playing field. That's very important, and that leads to more fun all around.
And if you're
I'm all about fun.
So if you play Oak and Iron or Blood and Plunder, I encourage you to keep an eye out. We'll probably try to keep post an update or two, or get some advertising out earlier again next year. But it will be in the summer of 2024. Will be our next campaign. We'll probably do kind of a warm up painting contest again. We did that this year in the spring. We did a pretty big painting contest with a tub of prizes too. Helping people get their forces ready for the campaigns. We'll probably do that over the winter, maybe early spring, and then get this. Probably open up the Discord for players to get in a little bit early. But if you play Blood and Plunder or Oak and Iron or are interested in them, keep an eye out. It should be a fun campaign. It's a good way to connect with players and learn more about the game as you kind of work through some objectives and fun things in the campaign. So we invite you back for Season 4 of the Summer of Plunder.